Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Challenge After Show, the after show for the challenge. This episode is episode 10, Amber Alert. Oh my God, ladies, thank goodness I did not look at the title this week. I would have been pissed off. They're getting worse and worse about this every week, ladies, with these stupid titles. And why? Why would they do this to us? Why do they want to spoil stuff? Pam, you hate spoilers.
I hate spoilers, and you're right. I totally knew when they were doing Deliberation that it was going to be that. And I was like, how? No, Gabby has to be going in. No, Gabby has to be going in. And you hate not going inners. And this one really was the dumbest not going in ever. Like, it was handed to her. Yes. Why? Like, this one, I'm like, usually I get it and I defend, like, well, if you're not ready, but it's like, what are you doing?
Did either of you ladies read the title though before it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you had it ruined.
It's got to be an Amber on Amber, but it was
I didn't look. Jenna,
I never do. I never read the titles, and I was thinking in the defense of the title, it could have been either Amber. So if you saw the title before you watched, you would maybe just think like, oh, okay, one of the Ambers. It doesn't necessarily mean both. So maybe there was like some room for misdirect.
But still, you know, at least one of those Ambers is probably going in, or at least she has something big to do with the episode. But in this case, it literally was the most, both of them had the most to do with the episode. It was insane. And yeah, we'll get to the elimination later, ladies.
Amber M. And shout out to the commenter last week who jogged my memory of what show I was thinking of. I thought it was As Told by Ginger. It was Recess.
Yes.
They had the different Ashleys. Remember, like the cartoon Mean Girls, and they were the Ashleys. That's who I was thinking of when the whole Amber B. Amber situation was unfolding. So thank you. Shout out to you.
That was an amazing Disney show. Of course, my name's Disney Dan, so I of course watched it. And TJ Detweiler was like the coolest dude at school as far as I was concerned. And he had such a great group of friends that everyone was so different in his group. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Right on, Detweiler.
Really adorable summary. Like a side note, tidbit, shout out Recess.
Yeah.
Shout out to Recess. Ladies, let's get into it. Danny Drama's in the house tonight, ladies, and I have to tell you, I have some news and gossip that I won't share for you right now, but Pam, I have someone related to the challenge that I think you should hate more than Josh, and that is the teaser for that.
What?
Yep, get ready.
Oh my goodness, okay.
And speaking of Danny Drama, let's talk about Fessy and Gabby. We get some kissing in a bed. I was very pleased. It was something. At least they gave me a little taste of a hookup.
But did you enjoyed that then?
Look, ladies, you say he has no game, but Gabby's very good looking. Fessy has a little game. Can you admit that?
I love Gabby. I think she is gorgeous. I do think Fessy is very good looking, but you know what? It could just be me because I have a hard time even watching like scripted shows when they have too much cringy romance, but this was just very hard for me to watch. So I'm glad that you got your like, your toes dipped in the pool of hookups or whatever the case may be. But yeah, this was hard for me to watch.
Okay.
I thought it was whatever. And I think, again, it wasn't Fessy's game. It's that he's really, really good looking. I think like in person, I still don't think he has game.
Okay.
She probably doesn't like him as a person. But again, that conversation led me to believe that she would do that, get rid of Devin, win her gold skull, and be partnered with, what was she doing?
Well, let's look at it this way, ladies. I'm glad you brought that up, Pam. Let's look at it this way. If Gabby does vote herself in, which she should have done, obviously, but in hindsight, because it was a girl's elimination. And if Devin votes for someone else and they're tied, what happens there? And I wanted to find out what happens.
They don't. They say you have to decide or you're going down.
Okay, so
she'd go down.
Ma'am, if you're right, if she had put her foot down, no matter what, she gets to go in.
She didn't want to do it though.
Then that sucks for her. She's an idiot. She's an idiot then.
Gabby had the power. She used Devin as an out. In that situation, when it's her and Devin standing up there, it doesn't matter what Devin wants because they do have to come to an agreement. She holds all the power. So if she never budges, guess what? Devin has to go down to the crater.
That's so true, ladies. I can't, but more than ever now. It's like, why does she give a shit about Devin? She should have put herself in and screwed Devin over. Why does she care? Because he would have screwed her over in the reverse.
I don't think she does care about Devin. She used him as an excuse. She was scared to go down. She admitted
Amber B?
Amber M? It wasn't even the competitor. It was the competition. She did not want to play hall brawl no matter who she was going against. She realizes now in hindsight, she admitted to it, what a fool she was. She feels like an idiot. And I agree with her. I could tell before commercial, her body language. I was like, oh my God, Gabby is not going to go down. And this is like so embarrassing. Why would she not take this opportunity? You can tell her face is red. She's squirming around. She didn't want it. She was too scared. And that's just like, that's the fact of the matter. And she had an out with Devin and just blamed him. It was like, well, my partner pushed me up against a wall. It's like, no, you just don't want to play hall brawl.
Right. Everything she did was stupid. She saved her enemy, got her a gold skull, didn't go in when she was pretty guaranteed to win. Like, and she could have traded and had Fessy. Like, she could have traded with and had Fessy as her partner from now on and gone to the final. Like, they both would have gold skulls and gone to the final. I don't know what the heck she was thinking on any level.
Yeah.
Because even if you're scared, it's like stacked.
It wasn't a hall brawl tonight, ladies. It was a hall fall. Amber M just fell all over the place. She dropped ball over the place. She didn't know where the balls were going. It was a mess. It was really sad. And very big missed opportunity by Gabby, unfortunately.
I was happy that Amber B started pushing her around a little bit at the end because like to CT's point, they were being too nice to each other for a while until Amber M then at the very end decided to get very physical and put herself in between the balls or in between the walls if she was some sort of like border. And then Amber B was finally like, it's fine, no more nice women, stop screwing around, you're gonna start getting physical now, I'm really gonna push you down. And at the end it was awesome. Right before she puts the last ball in the bucket, she just pushes Amber M straight into the ground.
Even TJ was like, Gabby, this is a perfect opportunity for you. It's another beginner. He called them both beginners, which is like, okay, this is what we've been saying all season, but people have a problem with us calling them rookies or just they haven't proven themselves. Perfect opportunity for Gabby. We definitely jumped ahead there, ladies, but I think it's important to talk about how ill-fated that decision really, really was.
Yeah,
we were on the subject, so I felt like we should just talk about it.
But in Amber M, I mean, again, I'm so mad at Gabby, but I feel for Amber M because it literally looked like that helmet was too big for her.
She didn't know. She was lost.
Yeah, she was losing. It was, I feel bad for her, but Gabby is so, at this point, I like Gabby more than the tall Amber. But I feel like you deserve to go home now. Like, you don't deserve to go to the final. Because especially they knew it was a girl, so it's not like you're going to piss Devin off anyway.
I mean, technically they should have known it as a girls because there's 2 girl skulls out, but there was an even amount of boys and girls in the game. So technically, if they wanted to, the producers could have just, at the moment's spare, just made it a men's elimination. It wouldn't have mattered. There was no rogue agent. It wouldn't matter if you do either one.
And I was confused how Gabby and the rest of the house was saying, once we get to the elimination, when we know it's a girls' day for sure, that's when I'm going to make my decision. And I was thinking, how do you ever know it's a girls' day for sure? But you know what I think it is? And they altered this elimination a little bit, but I think they are repeating eliminations and no, the sexes have not gone for the same elimination. So the guys were already in a hall brawl. So they get there, they see it's a hall brawl, and they're like, okay, now it's obviously a girls' day. So I think that's how they knew.
You nailed it, Jenna. Also, they make the eliminations a little different, a little more hard for the guys. So if you notice maybe a couple extra, like when that big thing of balls was there and that it looked bigger, whatever, you might be able to tell if it's a guys or a girls in theory too. But Jenna, you nailed it with the whole, there's already been a hall brawl, and it was dudes in there. So it's interesting. This season is very interesting because you never really technically know unless there's that guaranteed rogue agent, and still we don't know because they could just make it a double elimination. They could literally do whatever the hell they want, these producers, and I wish they would take more advantage of that because they've done it a little bit, but I would love if they said double elimination tonight and made Corey fight for one again against who was down there? Jarrell. Well, then wait, that wouldn't make sense because neither of them
neither of them do, so they couldn't have. You're right.
They couldn't do that. Yeah.
So that's the loophole. Because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking from this episode out, they should just continue to make it double elimination every single time. But I guess in this situation, nobody had their gold skull, so there wouldn't be any skull to steal from. So
correct.
I guess they know what they're doing.
Ladies, I'd like to jump to this. I want to talk about the relationship between these two people throughout the entire episode. So I don't want to just talk from the whole thing. And Pam, who is it going to be? Who am I thinking?
Lolo and Nam.
Thank you.
Lolo and Nam. Talk about drama.
The whole thing is insane tonight. So let's break it down. Thoughts, please.
Like Lolo again, man, if I was a therapist, I would have a field day with her. It's still like like I think she likes him and has a crush on him, and it comes out as every time she was literally heartbroken and saying like, you're not there. Like she was talking to him like he was her husband and they were having problems and he isn't meeting her needs. Like the level of, because it's like the level of emotion she had about the way he wasn't there for her needs and communicating with her and talking to her. It wasn't about gameplay. She seemed very emotionally vested in his not being as emotionally vested. And again, even when he said like in German, maybe if it was in Germany, he's like, what are you talking about, crazy girl? Like if you could only understand someone on a flat level and they were like crying with you and fighting with you and you were understood things like, can I please have the pepper? It would be like crazy. I feel like he doesn't know what's going on. She is like, I have nothing left to give. I'm so drained. It's like, why are you so emotional? I felt bad for her, but also like she's making herself way crazier than she needs to be. Go win some stuff with him. He's the best guy. You're the best girl. Go compete and then go have fun in the house with other people maybe. But I think she's got feelings.
I completely agree with you. And that brings me to the thought of like, I truly feel like Lolo is just going to be unhappy no matter who her partner is. So she's kind of like persecuting Nam when Nam is being very patient. And I understand if she's feeling a certain way, we only see what we see. So I get it from her perspective. If she's feeling like, I'm trying to compromise with you, you're not going for it. But from what can we see? It's from what we can see, it's almost the complete opposite. And I feel like she needs to take her own advice. She's saying in her confessional, Nam needs to meet her halfway.
With what?
But only she could see it from the outside looking in, but she is so just in her own head right now and so insecure. And it's really becoming obvious that like she has these deeply rooted insecurity issues, which we've talked about before. I feel like she needs to do some work on herself, and maybe watching this could be a learning experience for her. But yeah, it just brings me to the question, like, if you think Nam doesn't work for you, who the hell does? So maybe you're right, Pam, that she probably has some sort of like emotional connection to him as well.
They weren't arguing about any gameplay. She was just basically saying, I want you to be more emotionally giving with me. And
well, look, I think that she really used to have a crush on Nam, and now I think it's more so that she's just so frustrated with the way that they can't communicate. But honestly, if I'm looking at it from an outside point of view, which we all are, I'm 100% on Nam's side. I cannot stand Lolo at all, and I didn't like her in the original series she was in, Champs versus Pros, either. So now I'm like, it's doubling down for me. Nam makes a suggestion when they're fighting at the workout area. He's like, look, why don't we try to volunteer our asses in there so that we can then get new partners, no matter what happens. Who cares who goes in? If it's a guy's elimination, girls elimination, whoever goes in, they can then, if they win, just pick a new partner. We promise we won't be together. And she's like, that's not what it's about. You need to listen to me first. And then at the end of the conversation, some confessional, she's like, yeah, maybe we should do that. It's like, Lolo.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying.
This is what she wanted to be,
someone needing emotion and validation, and she wanted him to say, I want to be with you, Lolo, you're the partner I want. Honestly, that's what, because they were never fighting about anything that made any sense but about their communication. Like that's all they were fighting about. They weren't fighting about who to put in or what to do. It's like they were just fighting because he's not communicating enough. And it's like, just play the game with him then. He's not your husband. He's not your boyfriend. Yeah, my note was, he ain't your boyfriend, Lolo. Like, stop. Like, he's not there as your emotional support. It'd be nice if he was. Like, sure, it'd be great. But he can't, that's not Nam, apparently. And she's so kooky that he probably doesn't want to, too.
I don't know.
Super bad for her, but.
I think anyone besides her would work really well with Nam. I'm very surprised. Because I don't see him. She kept calling him stubborn. Was he that stubborn?
No, they're fighting about their relationship, which is a thing you do when you need attention from someone. Like I've been there before with, if I've liked a guy and you almost pick fights for attention. Because it's like it
doesn't matter what the argument is.
Right. Like,
you pull the Lolo, Pam? Pam, you're pulling Lolos over there?
I have when I was like 14, you know, and I'm not trying to be mean. No, I'm not trying to be mean either. I really do think she's
you know,
like
Pam,
Jenna.
that's a very interesting. I got a conspiracy theory now. You know how we said when people become famous, that's the age they stay the rest of their lives. We made this point about Cara Maria years ago.
Uh-huh.
When she stopped at that age growth. When did Lolo become famous? When she was in the Olympics at what, 18? Has she not grown? Because it's just a weird thing, right? Like
it's just a sad, it's not knowing how to express your actual emotions, which are, I'm in this, I'm lonely, I'm scared, I want to get a gold skull. And I think I think a lot of it is with him, because it's like, well, then make a friend, you know what I mean? Go hang out with someone. She wants it to be him, and he's not that person. So she's upset and picking fights about it, but he didn't do anything wrong, really. She just things that
Nam,
he give her.
Nam cannot do anything at this point. He'll say one thing and she will spin it and she'll perceive it a different way. Like, I don't even think that there's anything he can say or do. He could be the most supportive partner there is, which he's kind of already been, but she's always going to find something to complain about. So I wonder, Pam, you're probably right that it is because she liked him at first and probably really wants him as like more of a emotional romantic partner, because I just don't know if she would fit with anybody else either. Like, who would really work for her? Not CT. I think CT might be too tough on her. Or
you know what? Yeah, but CT would. I think CT would be able to. He's like, look, I've been in this thing for 10 years now. All right, Lolo. So you need to relax. I know what I'm doing. Where Nam can't say that. He doesn't even know. I don't think Nam knows half the game rules. He's
I think Lolo has trouble with positive communication. Like, I'm trying to think of the words to say it. Like, even with CT, I just think her behavior is you did this, that's just the way she, and he would be like, you're crazy. Like, I don't think she knows how to play well with others, really. And I don't think CT would take it. So I don't think that would really work, or he'd be like, I don't care, just compete. So maybe it would work that way, because Nam is unsavvy enough that he's engaging, but what are they fighting about? Like, maybe there's something going on game wise that we don't know, but they never showed it. It's like they're fighting about their relationship. You don't need to do that. You don't have a relationship like that. You are good, strong competitors. Go fight together.
Yeah.
I think the only reason they're fighting over a relationship is because that's how Lolo is.
Right. Oh, exactly. Yeah. It's like, you're not giving me this. You're not, like, I don't think he did anything. He's trying to accommodate. It seems like he's trying the best he can to accommodate her concerns, which are, you're not giving me enough attention, or you don't like me enough. And how can you assuage that? You know, I think I think
you did a good analysis, Pam, of it, because I didn't think about them being kind of romantic in the beginning. I was just thinking about, and you've heard me say, I actually feel kind of bad for Lolo this entire time. I think she obviously has some identity issues, and it's something that comes with a lot of professional athletes, especially Olympians. Michael Phelps did a whole documentary about a lot of Olympic athletes who have committed suicide after competition, because it's this loss of like identity and not really having any personality outside of that. Or, you know, you work your whole life for something. You only can compete how many times? Like, she was a sprinter and then a bobsledder. So I think she's really just trying so hard to see where she fits in this world. And being in this house is not good for her. And that's very clear. But I think the romantic part of it actually plays a huge role that I didn't realize before either.
She also has, she's extremely defensive. Like, that's just her personality. Everything's offensive and defensive. Like, everything's, she's not, you know, night. I mean, like, I don't know, but didn't she also like grow up on this, like, homeless and stuff without a family? Like, isn't there, remember when she was doing the charity and she was saying when she was yelling at everyone for not letting her win for charity because her charity was the most important? I don't know. I think she has very
competitive.
I feel bad for her too, but I don't think it's that she's feeling so competitive. I think she's just super defensive and she needs to go to, like, create, you know, like, how to express yourself therapy without being, you know, angry, like, express yourself, saying, using your words instead of being like, because she's clearly in emotional pain every time she's talking. I mean, she's in tears, and it's like, wow, what are you really upset about? Because
Well, ladies, speaking of upset, let's get to the challenge of the night where Devin upset everybody, even though they kept covering up his holes with his puzzle pieces in it. It's called Mission Black Sand Ops. And yeah, I was pretty pumped for my boy Devin. I thought that they really came through in a pretty hard situation, considering everyone in the confessional said they covered up his pieces.
Yep.
Jenna, you seem not happy about this win.
This was just, it's not that I'm unhappy with it. It just was one of those episodes of Devin, like a Devin roller coaster, where at times I was really into it and I was like, oh, he's going to be so mischievous. This is so exciting. But then he just parades around kind of making himself a dick, and he knows it. He'll own it. It's just, he really hogs, the spotlight and attention. And I was understanding where Gabby was coming from, where she won as well, but it just became like the Devin show, and he was really trying to take the power to himself. And I think he gets carried away because, to Nani's point, does he really have that much power in the house? No. So it's funny that he like parades it around and he tries to work it, but at the same time, it's like, all right, Devin, like how much longer can you do it? But yeah, I mean, it was good.
I love him now. I figured it out. It's because we're united in our Josh hate. So I'm like, yeah, Devin, take him down. And I have my actual shut up Josh of the night moment when Josh goes, we're here to play a game. Let's play a game. Like that. It's like, oh, shut up, Josh. Yeah, I say it out loud.
Well, yeah, I was, look, ladies, Devin is trying to entertain us. He's trying to get crazy matches to happen in eliminations. And how can I not be for that? He wants us to see great eliminations. In fact, like the people that he was suggesting to go in, he's like, all right, well, let's put Cam back in. I don't care. I love it. Why not? It's great. Okay. He doesn't care.
That's what I mean. You know what? Like, I appreciate his humor. Yes, it was funny. No one else on the show is doing that. But there are sometimes I want to just be a real person, Devin. Like, I feel like you are never just, I don't know, just be honest, be a real person. Like, you just are a cartoon character every time, just like spewing shit out. Like, who are you, Well,
at least someone's, there only needs to be one person doing that. I don't want the whole house to be sarcastic. He is, but I just think he's having a good time. He's adding entertainment value, ladies. And you know what? This season needs it.
Yeah.
This season really needs entertainment. He's the only one doing it.
Because I thought they had a really good plan at the beginning where he was chatting with Nam and ZT saying, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to throw you a bone and get you in the elimination. But I guess it really didn't amount to anything because it was just going to be a girls' day anyway. But I thought that was a good plot. But to Kim's point, I thought he was going to do something with his power. Like, I was really excited. I'm like, oh, Devin's going to work something here. Right. But it didn't really come to fruition. Like, he didn't.
Numbers. He tried. He just does not have the numbers. That it's literally the house versus Big Brother, and Big Brother has too many numbers. Who's on Devin? Let's break it down real quick. Who's on Devin's side? Kyle.
Corey.
Maybe CT.
Oh no, CT, maybe. Kyle.
That's Devin. It. And you know what's weird is Leroy helped him find a puzzle piece during the thing. He said, "Hey, Devin, here's a puzzle piece that is yours." So he helped him there. But then after that, he was totally against everything Devin was trying to do. So I didn't understand why Leroy helped him there, but then didn't want to help him later when trying to get Nani and
because Leroy's
house vote. He wanted Nani and Josh the house vote.
Casey's Big Brother alliance. So I don't.
Right, and I think that also, Cam is also working with the Big Brothers more than we.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I think so. Who is she then? Who's her?
Must be. Yeah, just because Leroy is too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she's cool with those people. Like, she's cool with Casey and Josh. I think her and Josh are decent friends.
Well, that's the thing is, if she wants to help out her man Leroy, she has to be cool with Casey, and Casey's part of Big Brother. She has to be cool with them. She has to. That's why she wanted her and Leroy to be separated in the first place, so they had more numbers.
But I think what Devin did wrong is, as much as I love the fact that he was tunnel vision for Josh, he shot himself in the foot a little bit because he should want to keep Josh available for other people who need a gold skull to go after, because him and Josh are the weakest guys left with a gold skull. Are they going to go for Fessy first? No. Are they going to go for Kyle first? No. They're going to go for Josh or Devin. So Devin, keep Josh around because maybe they'll go for Josh first,
right?
Which is interesting, right? Because Devin always is like thinking long game and thinking about how to manipulate the
think
system.
About this though, Jenna. If he goes after someone besides Josh, then that person comes back then it's not going to be Josh being voted in first with the gold skull. It's going to be Devin. So could he really go after a Fessy or a Leroy? Because they're going to come after him first instead of Josh, because they know Josh is the other layup, but Devin's the one that pissed him off. So Josh, I feel like, is his only.
That's a good point. I don't think he had the numbers to begin with anyway. I mean, he could have done it in like a sneaky way, right? Like Devin always prides himself on being like the sneaky puppet master. There was nothing sneaky about what he was trying to do tonight.
I'm just mad at him because at the end of the day, he should have told when he nodded yes to Gabby. That's what I'm really mad about. He got so in her head, not about who to pick, but to not go down. It wasn't going to affect him. Why did he care? Well, when he nodded to her, that's when I thought she was going to go, all right, I'm going in. Like, I couldn't believe it. I
feel like Devin should have known it was a girls' elimination tonight. I mean, they're closer to the subject than we are. We're just watching on TV. They're there every day. You don't think they're talking like, okay, it's another hall brawl. We already saw this.
She said, that's why I thought he nodded yes. She said, now that I know it's a girls' elimination, I think I want to go with, and then she didn't. It was just so bad, and I'm mad that he didn't say to win.
Well, I thought the nod was for him to say to her, okay, you make the decision now. What do you want? He's like, I thought that was the nod.
I think so, because she did say, I'm blaming Devin. She did say, I freezed, I got scared. I mean, she admitted it.
I don't think Devin got in her head. I think Devin annoyed her, rightfully so. She said, I stopped making it the Devin show. This is annoying. And I totally get that. And I think he's a good partner to her, though. I think he probably was apologetic after. Like, they have a good relationship, but she has her own power and her own intelligence. And she knew that what she needed to do, and she just chose not to.
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Did you ladies like this challenge tonight?
Yeah,
no.
I liked it.
I didn't like the daily one.
Okay.
We back to the puzzle lead one?
I liked the daily because you had Darrell and Amber B like digging to China, realizing that they were just digging an empty hole, had nowhere to go. Maybe it wasn't the most like fast paced, it wasn't physical, but I still enjoyed it. I still thought that there was like fun parts. And the one thing is, I wish that they had to memorize the totem before they got all the puzzle pieces together and then had to put it back together by memory. Because the fact that, yes, they had to run to the totem to cross-reference, but I feel like if they had to do it from memory, it would have been a lot more of an even playing field, and it would have been a head scratcher instead of just being able to use it as like a cheat sheet, if that makes sense. I mean, Josh and Nani blew it. First one's at the totem pole, and we know we see from 2 weeks ago, Josh is no puzzle master, but disappointing for them.
Why do they have such a hard time with this puzzle? To me, it looked really easy.
Really? I did not.
Yeah, because it fit together and it was like 6 things. That's what I was like. If you line them up, you can see if you have the right thing in the right spot. Like,
you thought it looked easy, Pam.
Yes. When CT was like, check, I was like, no, you've got one that clearly doesn't belong there.
I mean, literally, I could tell you what it was right now. The bottom 3 was a V.
Yes.
And you get to the mouth, the mustache, the nose,
the top, the
forehead, and the eyes, and then the top has to go there because it's only.
It should have been a memorizer.
I think it looks easy when you look at it complete. I think if you look at all the puzzle pieces and there's all these little different patterns and stuff going everywhere, like there's a lot of intricacies that I think that it would. And also in a high pressure situation, I think that it could throw you off.
I mean, sure, it's easier to be watching from home and saying it's easy.
But you have a partner though. You have a partner, Jenna. That's not a help. You're not even, the pressure's gone as far as I'm concerned. I got someone to rely on over here that can help me. Like, no, Dan, you're an idiot. It's this way. Like, okay, no problem.
Right.
If you're by yourself, I feel it maybe more, but
I would need the partner with the brains to help me out.
I was zoned out a little bit during this challenge. Like, I was like, why is the sand black? What are they doing? I didn't really understand.
How about the explosion though? How about the explosion?
Yeah. I like that they're putting in like holographic people now. Like they make the people disappear. Like they're spicing it up with graphics.
Well, they realized how boring the shots were. They're like, we got to do something to these shots. All right, we can get into, I want to talk about Deliberation. Oh my goodness. Okay, so everyone's got their screen time finally. They've all got their weekly paychecks for the last 6 weeks, and they're like, oh, the show's about to end. Oh, but we all want to volunteer to go in now. Everybody wants to go in now, ladies. Bunch of crap, first of all. And your thoughts.
I mean, you know my thoughts. Amber M has been dodging bullet left and right the entire season. 2 weeks ago, she was like, I'm not ready yet. Please, for the love of God, don't put me in. And this week, she's like, I've never been more ready for anything in my entire life. Like, it was like, oh, okay. So she was ready to go and get hers. I thought Darrell's confessional was hilarious of like, I don't know what Corey is feeding this girl, but she's buying into it. But I think Corey just wants a different partner. So yeah, to your point, Amber M all of a sudden steps up to the plate. And it's like, yeah, at this point now, everybody just wants to volunteer. You're not doing anything like special here by volunteering.
Right, that's my point, Jenna. You're exactly right. That's what they're not doing. These don't come up and say you're volunteering. You say, be honest about it. I'm sorry, it's the end of the show. I need a skull. Well, I think I should go in.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm volunteering. I can do it. It's my time. Like,
Right.
It's your time because the show's almost up.
Right. Yeah.
Like, who are we kidding here? You got to get your screen. I get it. If I was a reality star, I'd be trying to get as much screen time as I could get to. I understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, as someone viewing the show that's viewed it for the 36 seasons, you're not fooling anybody with what you're saying.
Would you cry and say that you've given too much and you can't be with your partner anymore? Like, again, it sounded like couples therapy or group. And then Josh chimes in too, like, I won't let friendships be destroyed. That's what I won't let. Those two should date. Lolo and Josh.
Well, that would be
they're both so like overly emotional. They would just hug and cry if it worked out together.
That's a wet relationship, and I mean it from the eyes, not from anywhere else on the body.
Yeah, that is a wet relationship. It is.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on Deliberation? Because I sob story for Lolo. Whatever. Who cares?
It was a sob story, guys. She can't control it. I don't know why I feel so.
No, I agree with you, Jenna. I feel heartbroken. Like when she went in, she's so defeated. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, what is like? Because he's not communicating with her enough.
Yeah, I kind of wanted Nadia to say something because you could tell that she was sitting there in her seat with like smoke coming out of her ears. I was like, Nani, what are you thinking? What do you got to say? But she didn't end up saying anything, which is probably smarter that way. I think she saw the writing on the wall. She knows what's happening here. Yeah, but Deliberation was really just Amber and Lolo.
Yeah, so, despite Devin's best efforts to give us some entertaining people in the elimination tonight, it ends up being Amber M, and they do an amazing blind slide with another rookie, Amber B, who I don't know if she's any good yet. You know why? Because she beat a stick that was 3 feet tall. I don't know yet. I'm sorry. Maybe Amber B's the best thing in the world. I think that she's in shape. I think that she's athletic probably, but I don't know yet. So that's my thought on the elimination final. Ladies, we can get into it. It was a hall fall, and we kind of talked about it earlier, but we can talk about it some more.
Yeah, I was surprised to find out that Amber B played rugby because I feel like it doesn't match her temperament at all. Not that you always have to go running around like punching holes in the walls, but she just feels like such an unbothered, not even a super competitive person. Like I feel like she just always is in chill mode. So the fact that she could turn it on and play rugby, I was like, oh, I didn't know that, and that was unexpected.
I think she's secretly, I don't know if I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid and believing the rookie girls, but I think Amber B might secretly be a biatch, and she might be. Well, I'm just saying she comes off nice and sweet. They're saying I thought she was the nicest person. I think she might be more competitive than she lets on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing a little bit of the classic thing that they all do after they win an elimination. She was like, oh, shit's about to change. Like everyone always, as soon as they win, they're like, everyone else better watch out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how Gabby reacts when we're back into the house next week, and we can really see the come down of her realizing that she missed out on literally a golden opportunity by not getting her.
Yep.
Very true. Any more thoughts on the elimination or anything like that? I just think that, unfortunately, I still feel like I don't know enough about Amber B to say that, like, okay, she's doing some good stuff out there. Because I honestly think that Amber M, I think anybody in the house would have beaten Amber M. Any girl.
Absolutely. In this, unless it was the girl was 8. Like I mean, she's tiny. It's one of those things where the size matters.
It really is. I think she's probably like 5 feet tall. And I swear Amber B looked like she was towering over.
Yes. Well, Amber B was standing. No, one is a tall girl and one is a particularly small girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And couldn't see, like she needed a child size Amber M. Like I feel like literally she needed a pink helmet with like for a that thing was like she didn't have a fighting chance even because
why when she dropped the ball, how come she didn't go back to get it? How come she just kept running straight? I was so confused. Like, wait, you need to bring the ball to the other side. Why would you leave it there? You just wasted a turn.
She just got discombobulated.
But she had one job, Pam. She had one job. Move the ball back and forth. Drop the ball and keeps running without the ball.
Yeah, it was definitely her time to go, I guess. But I feel bad that this was what she had to do.
Ladies, percentage chance that Amber M is asked back on the challenge in a future season.
I actually think high percentage. It seems like a lot of people like her sass. I think a lot of people like her personality.
Okay, I like her. I give it a 5% or less chance.
Oh, really?
I would give it a 0, but you girls just got me on board because of the sass. I was
what's hard is I feel like there's, again, I said this earlier in an episode, but I feel like the drop off with the girl competitors is a lot steeper than with the guys, right? Like I feel like you have a top tier female competitors and then like not at all. There's not really a lot of
right.
Let me give you the 2 reasons. I'll give you the 2 biggest reasons Amber M will not be asked back. First of all, she has no athletic ability and she's not really good at any of the 5 assets we talk about. Second, she had a hookup with Michi this season and they cut the whole damn storyline, which is something that she maybe could be good at. The drama.
She could be good at.
That sounded really bad, but
No, we know what you mean.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So why would they bring her back? She's a waste of a space for someone that could be a really entertaining storyline or athletic. I know this sounds really bad that I'm saying.
I will say, no,
that's how I feel.
I hear you. And I will say you need to have some mix of like, ideally you'll have a Cam that can like do things and has a good personality.
Right.
Like Lolo is not going to be a storyline unless a big one, but she's an Olympian. Like you have to have
and Lolo
could people that are entertaining, like Devin and her. There's a few.
Yeah, Lola was a storyline tonight. She was somewhat. I mean, she was entertaining in a bad way, I guess, but she still was entertaining. We have to talk about her.
Right.
As much as Amber M's ability to dodge every elimination and kind of come off pretty cocky about it, I still think she's likable though. Like she still has some sort of factor that I'm definitely like entertained watching her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, she's a real scrapper. I feel like she's scrappy. She's like,
everybody's being so nice to her. She was so bad in that elimination sign.
She was so bad that I feel like she
terrible. And it was kind of like, and you think I'm being nice, but it was kind of satisfying for me to watch because this entire time I've been like, well, put your money where your mouth is. You keep talking. You keep saying like, everyone else step up. Tori, pick on someone your own size, whatever the argument is, then you need to do it. So finally, it was like pretty satisfying to see her actually have to do a competition.
Mm-hmm. But poor her that it was this one. I do feel bad for her though, because
there's no poor you on the challenge though. Like I get what you're saying.
Oh no, I'm just saying offhandedly. Like she was robbed. No,
right.
It is what it is. But I really felt like she couldn't. When they were talking about that, she looked. I was like, I don't think she could see. I really don't.
So I mean, I'll go with you there, Pam. I felt bad with her at that moment when they showed it and her eyes were like in the nose area. I was like, oh, the poor thing has no chance here. Like
no. Yeah, like she might have had a fighting chance at almost anything else. But like she didn't even have a fight. It's like at this, like you're not, like you might as well.
So let me ask you this then. Do you think that they wasted the use of the hall brawl elimination on these two?
Well, look, they knew what they were getting themselves into, the producers, because they knew Amber M was going in. So they put that hall brawl there on purpose for her in a way. It wasn't.
How do you know? What do you mean they knew she was going in?
They were already the declassified agents before the producers know who won the.
No, it was Gabby
that's going in. What do you mean?
Oh.
They're guaranteed to know that Amber M was going in tonight.
They must put that. Surely they have the elimination planned before.
No, they could. Pam, you are
sorry.
They can
One interruption.
They mix it up, Pam. They change everything if they want to make it entertaining in theory. They did this on purpose for some reason.
No, it's all very real, and the elimination is planned and in a like lockbox for a week before. They wouldn't mess around with Okay,
one interruption, just because I thought it was funny. You said declassified agents when there's a compromised agent.
Oh, sorry.
They're declassified.
You know what? I
really like that.
Declassified. What is it? Compromised? Wait, compromised. Woo! Yeah, I'm not an agent. I don't work for any
I
any
like it.
private office. I don't know the terminology. I'm very sorry. Yes.
It would have been entertaining to watch like Lolo and her do a hall brawl. Because she
Wait,
could
and
literally
Amber
like
B.
somersault under her legs or something.
Well,
Amber
if it was
M.
Amber M, it would.
Yeah.
Amber M might have passed out. Man, if Lolo
Yeah.
ran Amber M, that would have been entertaining just because the poor girl might have got a concussion or she would have been
Right.
her ass.
Yeah, Amber M would not be keeping her bones intact if it was against Lolo.
But at least Lola would have put, I mean, it would have been more entertaining to watch.
Right.
Do you think Amber M would even have wanted to participate? She'd been freaking out. She would have been crushed.
But maybe she could just dodge her since you had to, like, maybe she could just literally slip by her if she was
Can't dodge that first hit. Can't dodge that first hit is the one that's gonna leave the mark. So.
Well, Amber B was taking it so easy on her because Amber M still kind of was in the mix because Amber B wasn't even touching her.
Well,
like there was a point where she was right behind her in the amount of balls because there was no contact being made.
They're friends. She didn't want to be mean to her, whatever.
No, I just think it's that they're both rookies. They don't know what they're doing unless someone's a threat. They were just focusing on getting their balls in. It's like, why fight if this is all we have to do? Like, who wants to have a brawl?
I think Amber B was like, I'm gonna win no matter what. Why am I hurting myself trying to bang up against a twig?
Yeah.
Ladies, any other thoughts on the elimination or the episode before I get into news and gossip?
News and gossip.
Now, Pam, this was just news and gossip to be news and gossip, but then another tweet came out, and I was like, holy crap, this is perfect for our personal after show.
Ooh.
Because the fans, everyone's going to be commenting on this because of you, Pamela. Here we go. The challenge. Josh Martinez claims the show stretched out his elimination performance. Remember, I talked about this as a conspiracy, and y'all didn't believe me. Now, I'm not saying it did happen, but that's what he said. I can read a little more into it. I have the whole article here, but he claims that, all right, I'll read it real quick here. It only took him around 5 times to finish the elimination. He also explained that he called out Devin, whatever, at the end, but he said it was 5 times, and then it was really fast. It was just, they made it look longer.
Right. Like when they play music and have slow motion crawling for Teresa, that's what they do. They edit the show, Josh. Yes, they might have slowed it down. We're not idiots.
That he didn't like the edit. He noted it didn't last as long as the edit.
He looks like a moron. Okay, well, that is Cry Baby Cry, Twitter Baby Twit. Yeah, he's just whining in a different way. Boring. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get to the second part of it. No, this isn't even the best part, though. Jenna, this is
that's just very Josh.
That's
Oh wait, what's up?
This is the follow-up. No, there's a follow-up tweet to this.
Oh.
Now here's the best part. Ladies, do you remember a man on the challenge named Alan by any chance?
No. Alan?
Alan. He was an actual competitor on the challenge on Josh's first season. Does that give you a hint?
Alan.
Alan, ladies, is Alan is the reason that we know Josh. Because
Alan had to go or something?
Alan got injured, and Josh, who couldn't solve the puzzle, took his spot. And Alan jumps on his Twitter, and said, none of this would even be a thing if I was allowed to continue when I got injured and he, Josh, was supposed to go home. It's so true.
Yes, that's what I always say. You shouldn't even be here. Why are you being cocky? Yeah.
You should hate Alan because if Alan stayed, you would never even know Josh because Josh would never been invited back because he was.
I'm starting a petition to say let's replace all previous and forward moving on seasons. We'll just put Alan's face over the piece
over Josh.
Okay, and then and Alan should step in now.
Who is Alan and what is he doing with his life that he is now on Twitter saying like, Josh, it's because of me, I made you. But it's like, Alan, who actually are you?
Because you have to admit, Alan must be pissed. Alan must be pissed because he's never going to be invited back on the show. No one knows. We didn't even remember his name. I didn't remember who. I knew that someone got hurt. I knew the only reason Josh got past the puzzle for the next episode was because someone had gotten injured. I don't even think they said his name. Oh, someone from the first one got injured, so Josh is back. And then Josh came running up like he did.
Yeah.
And now we have the story of Josh.
And then he never had a win until this one, which is like, again, it was a sad, sad victory.
Well,
All right, so
look him up,
we
man.
have Alan to thank.
Yes,
Thank you
have
for your
his name
service.
is Alan. This is the best part. AlanValdez.tv, because he's doing a lot of TV.
Well, I
now.
think he was a Brit. I think he was on those other British shows. Because I think he was
okay.
hot. I think I remember thinking he was good looking. Like, we have to look him up, but I remember being upset that he left and Josh came. And I said, Josh. That might be why I hate Josh so much. Maybe I just love Alan.
He's
pretty jacked up. He's pretty
Pam,
jacked
this
up
is
in
your
his
therapy.
picture. Look how jacked up Alan is.
Ooh, yeah, baby. Bring
love
back
this.
Alan. Justice for Alan.
I love that this just feels like such an old school way of like showing somebody something on your phone, because we don't have like the picture coming in, or we're showing it on a monitor, through a monitor, on a phone.
Yeah. But bring Alan back. Justice for Alan.
All right, Alan. Well,
yeah.
let's put him back on.
I'm going to have to find him right now and say that we really need to start a petition to bring him back, to take take his rightful place in the challenge.
Josh will have another storyline of having another enemy, another rival in the house.
All right, well, that's all I got for news and gossip, ladies. Pam,
I have one. There was someone that I just started following on Instagram that has a funny account that's like Everything Challenge or something, had posted some like outtakes of them talking about who they thought could possibly go to the final. It was like CT and Kyle talking. Mm-hmm. And they're naming everyone, and CT even, he's like, Josh is a non-issue, whatever, obviously move on. Like, oh yeah, like he's not. And he thinks he's so great. That's why I think it's funny, right? Like a CT is like, shit, Josh. Okay, anyway, move on. Not, lay up.
Before I forget, ladies, I want to give MTV The Challenge fan page on Instagram the credit for putting both those stories up that I was able to find. So we should give them a shout out. MTV The Challenge on Instagram, a great follow if you are a fan of The Challenge.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Jenna's good. Pam, you good? I'm good.
I'm good. All right, guys.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Episode 10, Amber Alert. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, do not look at the title before you watch the episode next week, because it'll probably give away who is in the elimination. So producers, you might want to change that for season 37 or season OG if they do the OG season.
There we go.
All right, we'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.